Coffee first reached Japan in the 1600s through Dutch merchants stationed at Dejima. Because Japan's policy of limited foreign contact allowed trade primarily through the Dutch, very few Japanese encountered coffee. Early descriptions suggest people were unimpressed. The drink was described as dark, bitter, and unlike anything in Japanese cuisine. Tea remained overwhelmingly preferred, and coffee remained confined to diplomats, interpreters, physicians, and scholars studying Western science. For nearly 200 years, coffee remained an exotic novelty. The turning point came after the Meiji Restoration. Japan rapidly modernized. Railroads spread across the country. Western clothing became fashionable. European architecture appeared in cities. Western foods entered everyday life. Coffee became a symbol of modernity. Drinking coffee was no longer simply consuming a foreign beverage. It represented participation in a rapidly changing industrial nation. Japan's first Western-style coffee house, Kahichakan, opened in Tokyo in 1888. The business itself failed after only a few years, but it introduced an entirely new social concept, the cafe as a place to linger rather than simply eat or drink. By the early 20th century, the Japanese kisaten, which is a traditional coffee shop, began appearing throughout the country. Unlike the bustling coffee houses of Europe or America, kisaten developed their own character. They emphasized things such as quiet conversation, relaxation, jazz music, reading, thoughtful solitude, beautiful interiors, and careful preparation. The atmosphere was almost an extension of Japanese tea culture. Instead of speed, there was patience. Instead of loud debate, there was calm. Instead of large crowds, there was intimacy. Coffee nearly disappeared during World War II. Imports became scarce and many cafes closed. Some people substituted roasted soybeans or other ingredients for coffee. When the war ended, however, coffee returned alongside Japan's economic recovery. During Japan's rapid economic growth from the 1950s through the 1980s, coffee consumption exploded. Millions of office workers adopted coffee as part of the workday. Morning coffee became routine. Business meetings moved into cafes. Neighborhood kisaten became gathering places for regular customers. Coffee shifted from a luxury to an everyday habit. One distinctive feature of Japanese coffee culture is the extraordinary attention paid to brewing. Many cafe owners spent years perfecting. Watching a master prepare hand-drip coffee became part of the experience itself. The drink was treated with the same respect traditionally given to tea. One of Japan's greatest innovations arrived in 1969 in the form of canned coffee. Today, hot and cold canned coffee is sold almost everywhere. This transformed coffee into something available 24 hours a day, whether someone was commuting, hiking, or working late. Japan now has one of the world's most sophisticated, ready-to-drink coffee markets. Beginning in the 1990s and accelerating in the 2000s, Japan became a global leader in specialty coffee. Cities such as Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka became destinations for coffee enthusiasts from around the world. Many international barista champions and award-winning cafes cite Japanese brewing philosophy as a major influence. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of Japan's coffee story is that coffee never replaced tea. Instead, the two beverages developed side by side. Tea remained central to tradition, ceremony, and hospitality. Rather than viewing coffee and tea as competitors, Japan largely embraced both. Japan's coffee boom was not simply about caffeine. Coffee fit naturally with cultural values that prize craftsmanship, ritual, and attention to detail. The careful preparation of a pour-over, the quiet atmosphere of a neighborhood kisaten, and the pursuit of perfection by roasters and baristas all echoed long-standing Japanese aesthetics. As a result, coffee became more than an imported drink. It became a distinctly Japanese cultural experience.